What's going on YouTube? Daxy here, back with my PUL Week 7 battle versus Eizanide and the Lexington Leafeons. We're at 3-3 right now, and Eizanide is at 4-2. He's been sitting at the top of the power rankings for a little while now, so I would love to take him down. I haven't had too much interaction with Eizanide, but from the experience of scheduling this game, he seems like a pretty nice guy, and I'm looking forward to play him again, either in playoffs or next season, as we are both confirmed to be returning for Season 3 of the PUL. Speaking of playoffs, if I win this game, I'm like looking really nice to be like back in the race for playoffs, because I can at that point get first or second seed in my conference, which is what I need to make playoffs. It's not like in my division. It's not a conference thing really. It's like you gotta come first 2 seeds in your division. That's how it works. So you just gotta have a better record than 3 other people. The people in my division, off the top of my head, are Devil, Bidoof. Oh wait, no, not Devil. So it's Bidoof, Junebug, Acemeister, and then Albany Dragonites, who was replaced by either Recordman or Sharky. The Albany Dragonites, or whatever team got replaced with, I don't think they have a win yet, so that's not a huge problem. But then the main Red Cloudsers and the Crazy Kermit Club are the people we're looking to beat in terms of record, like record-wise. And I've got all my rematches coming up relatively soon, so I have a chance to take them out myself, which is what I'm really looking forward to. Alright, so going over Eizanide's team, we see, in order from fastest to slowest, the Mega Beedrill, the Talonflame, who's a Z user, the Arceus, the Z Whimsicott, the Jirachi, the Roserade, the Giratina Origin Form, the Milotic, the Mamoswine, the Passimian, the Magneton, and the Scrafty. The Mamoswine is his final Z user, and his super Z user actually is that Whimsicott. I just double checked that on the doc. So that's Eizanide's team, and let's just go over what we brought. This is not going to be a very long video or team builder. Alright, so we got ourselves a nice Unaware Fizdef Clefable, max HP, max defense. This is designed to take on any form of setup Arceus, like most likely Swords Dance, or like Arceus. I'm expecting. I said Arceus, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm expecting Swords Dance, and then Extreme Speed and Shadow Claw, because he needs Shadow Claw to hit my Hoopa, or just some other attack besides Extreme Speed or Return. And then he can't have both Recover and Refresh. So between Toxic and Moonblast, I'm going to be able to wear down in 1v1 pretty much any kind of Arceus. And he has to run normal Arceus. So it's not like he can switch up the type, run like a steel or poison type Arceus that's gonna wall this Clef indefinitely. Nah, I can take on this kind of Arceus any set really. And this Clefable also allows me to deal with a Calm Mind Giratina, which is looking fairly likely versus me. Next up, I have my Darkrai, which is a great win condition in this game. Nasty Plot, Substitute, Dark Pulse, Hidden Power, Flying hits his whole team. I'm creeping Whimsicott, and I have 88 HP. Oh, okay, 88 HP, so that an uninvested -2 Draco leaves me at a minimum of 75% after leftovers, meaning that I have 3 substitutes left. Except that I did that calc on Giratina Altered Form, I realized, not Origin. I realized that after the game, so my bad there. This spread doesn't really do anything, but it didn't come into play, so whatever. Zygarde, Dragon Dance, Outrage, Thousand Arrows, Iron Tail. I need, like, this is just a pretty standard Zygarde set with enough speed to outspeed. Wait, did I not write that down? Okay, fine. I guess it's for Giratina, right? Hold on. 280. Yeah, cool. Okay, it's for Giratina. That's for Giratina. Iron Tail hits Mamoswine, and Yachi Berry is also for the Mamoswine. To make sure that thing doesn't stop my sweep. I'm not that Iron Tail is the most accurate way of hitting a Mamoswine, but like it's my only way really, unless I want to run Brick Break or something. And it also lets me hit the Whimsicott, which walls this thing otherwise. Okay. Now our Venusaur with a crazy type of EV spread. Physically defensive, sorta. 60 special attack, modest. Always 2-hit KOs, max HP, Talonflame with a Sledge Bomb. 80 speed outruns Adamant Scrafty. And the Spadef avoids a 2-hit KO from Timid Whimsicott's Psychic and Timid Roserade's Extrasensory. Life Orb, Timid Whimsicott, by the way. And unboosted Timid Roserade's Extrasensory. There you go. Okay, that wasn't that crazy actually. Necrozma. Physically defensive, rocks, Stealth Rock, Morning Sun, Earthquake, Photon Geyser with the Rocky Helmet. This is my Beedrill check because with Prism Armor I can switch into pretty much anything Beedrill wants to go for, and I wear it down every time it goes for a U-turn, which is going to be pretty often versus my team because it outspeeds everything. The speed is to outspeed uninvested Jirachi. Yep. And I can also check a physical Jirachi spamming Iron Head or Heart Stamp or something stupid like that. And wear it down with the Rocky Helmet that way. So that's my Necrozma. And finally, I have a physically defensive Gyarados, yet again, max with Waterfall, Dragon Tail, Avalanche, and Toxic with the Rocky Helmet to check Mamoswine. I originally had Lycanroc on this team for the Talonflame, but after doing a mock with Eshan from Aster's server, and I think I've seen him in other places too. But anyway, he helped me out this week, and he made me realize how huge of a threat Mamoswine is, and that I need a dedicated check to that. So, Waterfall hits most of his team. Avalanche is good for Giratina. Toxic can wear down anything, and Dragon Tail is to prevent setup mostly, but also get rid of threats that come in on me, such as Giratina, like just anything that wants to switch in and I don't want it there, like, I can just kind of shuffle through my opponent's team with Dragon Tail. And Avalanche hits Whimsicott as well. That's the team. I think I said Hidden Power Flying is for the Scrafty and Whimsicott. Maybe I didn't say that. Hidden Power Flying is for the Scrafty and Whimsicott, because those are his only dark resists. Otherwise, I think that's everything. Alright, and with that, we're gonna hop right into the game versus Eizanide and the Lexington Leafeons. Alright, you guys, here we are with the battle. You can see that Eizanide brought the Giratina, the Jirachi, the Scrafty, the Mamoswine, the Arceus, and the Roserade. So off the bat, I don't see Whimsicott, and I don't see Beedrill. So those are the only things aside from like a Scarf Jirachi or something, because I don't really see a likely Scarf on his team besides Roserade, which doesn't do a ton to my Darkrai. And like basically, I was expecting Whimsicott to be his Scarfer if he were to bring a Scarfer, and he doesn't bring Beedrill. So I think Darkrai is a pretty safe lead right here. I'm gonna go right into Darkrai and switch hard into Jirachi. I'm gonna switch hard into Necrozma, either expecting a U-turn, or if he's a physical Jirachi, he'd probably stay in an attack, so I'd get some chip on this, and otherwise he would most likely switch into on my Darkrai. He doesn't have a great switch in, right? So I guess Arceus, and this could have kind of taken that on. Anyway, I can get at my rocks here as I take a Shadow Ball, and I'm just gonna go for the Earthquake on this turn, and I get this Spadef drop, so I have to switch out back into Darkrai here, and I don't take a lot from that at all. Now, what I'm gonna do here is calc the Dark Pulse damage, and even at +1, I'm guaranteed to kill this Jirachi with a Dark Pulse. No matter what, like even if he's max Spadef, max HP, Dark Pulse, even a +1 Spadef kills this Jirachi. So I'm thinking, it's so early in the game, I don't think he'd risk his Jirachi. I don't think he'd sack off his Jirachi here. I think it still has utility in this game. And he should know that it kills. So he could easily go Arceus or something right here. But, so basically what I'm going to do is I determine that Nasty Plot is my best play. Because I don't think, like, I'm not thinking anything, because Flash Cannon doesn't kill. But, as you're going to see, I go for the Nasty Plot, and it turns out he has the Moonblast and is able to just take out my Darkrai. And that's going to be a huge problem, because I really don't have a lot to, like, wear down his team right now. My win con at this point has become Zygarde, and you're going to see that's not easy to set up versus his team. So I'm gonna go into Necrozma, because like I said, it's my Jirachi check as he goes Giratina. And there's not a ton I can do here except well, I click Earthquake as he switches into Giratina, and then I have to go Clefable in case this thing wants to set up. I try to Toxic the Giratina as he goes Roserade, which was a pretty obvious response to this. And he's going to make an interesting play, because what Eizanide does here is that he Will-O-Wisps my Clefable, and then he's going to go for... he went for the Sleep Powder, predicting the switch. Which, like, the switch was pretty obvious there, sure, but, like, it's a good play on Eizanide's part. I wasn't really expecting a Sleep Powder Rose Raid, but now that I've seen that, I'm thinking, oh, crap, it's going to be a lot harder to set up my Zygarde now, because I know the Jirachi has Moonblast, I'm assuming the Giratina has Dragon coverage, the Mamoswine I can't set up on, the Scrafty could have Ice Punch, the Arceus is just a strong Pokemon, and Rose Raid has Sleep Powder. But now that this thing is asleep, what I kind of need to do is potentially keep it asleep, because that's the only thing that, excuse me, his Rose Raid is looking like the only thing my Zygarde can set up on, so I'm hoping to keep this thing asleep so that, like, with Sleep Claws, he can't click that move again. So he's gonna get to bring out his Mamoswine here as I go into my hard response being Gyarados, and I can dodge an Earthquake like that. As I go for the Toxic, which catches everything. I doubt he would switch into Jirachi or Rose Raid here. As I'm able, and here I'm able to get in my Venusaur. I'm going to Mega Evolve my Venusaur into Venusaur. I don't know why the replay is not showing the animation, but don't worry, I am Mega Evolved. Like, in the game, I definitely was. You can see right here, I am. Anyway, this is going to be my opportunity to Mega Evolve. I wasn't exactly expecting a Thunderbolt, but I knew I could take any hit and wear this thing down a little bit. So I'm going to roar out his Giratina here, and I'm not too worried about this Scrafty. I calced, and there's not a lot. He doesn't do nearly enough to my Venusaur, even if he Dragon Dances here. So what I'm going to do is let him Dragon Dance. I'm going to go for the Giga Drain to get some health back, and then we're going to roar on the next turn, in case he Dragon Dances again, which I believe he does do. Yep. And then I can roar him right out into Arceus. Here I have to go Clefable, but he predicts that and goes Jirachi, which is a really nice play, excuse me. He's just going to set up Calm Minds as I throw off a Wish, trying to heal up my Necrozma here. Hoping to wake up versus this Jirachi and get a nice Earthquake off. But his Shadow Balls, oh my goodness, sorry guys, it's kind of late for me when I'm recording this. I should pause this. Okay, he's gonna keep on throwing off Shadow Balls as I try to wake up and kill this thing with an Earthquake, because I don't want to switch around and give this Jirachi free Calm Minds. But eventually he's gonna get the Shadow Ball off and take out my Necrozma, meaning that he can click Sleep Powder with Rose Raid again, which is super annoying. But so what I have to do now is go Venusaur, and oh my gosh. I feel like freaking, I don't know, like Gator or Chimpact. Who yawns a lot? One of those two. Anyway. So I have to go Venusaur here. I want to scout for the Psychic, basically. And he's revealed Calm Mind, Moonblast, and Shadow Ball, right? So if he goes for the Psychic here, he can't touch my Clefable. So I'm gonna go Venusaur. I take the Psychic, and now I know, alright, so my Clefable can stall this thing out. I'm gonna go into Clefable. He's gonna Calm Mind again. I threw off a Wish right here, and I can just kind of sit in front of this Jirachi. I'm actually gonna go Gyarados and get the get my health back on that in order to Dragon Tail him out. I know I take a ton of damage in the process, but this Jirachi is going to be a problem. Otherwise, there's no way for my Clefable to actually kill it. What I'm realizing I have to do now is get in my Zygarde on the Jirachi and set up as I scare it out. That's going to be my only way to win. and then I have a real chance, actually, as you're gonna see. So, I can just, this little exchange, as I said in my team builder, I planned versus the Arceus. I can Toxic and Moonblast, and he can set up, and nothing's really gonna happen. I just Wish Protect repeatedly, and I'm able to keep myself at a good amount of HP. And so yeah, this is just gonna be a series of Swords Dances, Moonblasts, Extreme Speeds, Toxics, Recovers, all of that, Protects, and eventually I'm just gonna, this Arceus is just gonna go down to the Toxic damage. Here I'm gonna sack off Gyarados, and this allows me to get in my Zygarde. And I just, honestly, at this point I just kind of have to click Dragon Dance, and I hope he misses a Sleep Powder, but he switches right out for some reason. I don't totally understand this play. Maybe he was expecting, like, I don't know, I have no idea what he was predicting. This is kind of a choke on Eizanide's part, and I can just Dragon Dance and take him out with a 1,000 arrows, yeah. So, I have the Yachi Berry in order to live an Ice Shard from this Mamoswine, and it's looking here that if I land an Iron Tail, I can kind of sweep through his team. And even if I don't, even if I can just kill the Mamoswine and the Roserade, Clefable should be able to 1v1 his other two mons. So this is actually looking kind of nice for me if I can land an Iron Tail. But obviously, that's not going to happen. And Mamoswine's going to take out my Zygarde here, and we lose 4-0 to Eizanide. There's no point trying to like make this last any longer. Clefable can't kill Mamoswine. He's going to get a crit Ice Shard. I think that was Banded, actually. In which case, I think the crit mattered on that last turn. But, like, it's whatever. He had to switch it. Like, my only attack was Moonblast, right? He could have switched into Roserade and all of these things. Anyway. So, yeah, his Jirachi was not Culber Berry. That's the first thing I ask in the chat, because I'm thinking, like, if I had my Darkrai around, like, for most of this game would have been so different. And, like, ultimately, it was a really tough call, but Nasty Plot was the wrong play. Like, the risk of, I should have kept Moonblast in mind. I should have, like, not risked my Darkrai right there, because I should have seen that it was more an important of a win con than I thought at the time. So I should have just attacked. Would have made this game a lot easier, because that Jirachi was a pain in the ass. But anyway, that's gonna be GG versus Eizanide. Like, I don't think the miss was crazy, because, like, sure, I had a chance to bring it back, but ultimately that misplay with the Darkrai is what cost me the game, I think. So yeah, GG to Eizanide. We're now 3-4, which is a little annoying. Getting into playoffs is going to be a lot harder at this point. But we only have one more game before our rematches, like I said, in which case we can take Destiny into our own hands a bit and kind of beat down the rest of my division myself. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Next week, we're taking on Cali and his Cleveland Crobats. So stay tuned for week 8 of the PUL, you guys, and I'm gonna catch you all later.